Let's take a look at that Hill opinion piece by two Ivy League lawyers. They suggest Congress block President-elect Donald Trump from taking office, saying the Constitution provides that an oath-breaking insurrectionist is ineligible to be president. With just over a week to go, they are hoping lawmakers disqualify Trump by invoking the 14th Amendment.
Always people from the Ivies. It's always got to be them. For more on this, let's welcome in former Deputy Assistant to the President and incoming Senior Director for Counterterrorism under the Trump administration, Sebastian Gorka. Welcome in. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you. Dr. Gorka, does this hold any weight, or is this just another case of Ivy League elitists trying to flaunt their, intelligence to the general American public?
Merry Christmas. It holds weight. It's relevant for one specific thing. It proves dispositively, with no shadow of a doubt, the utter contempt and hatred the quote-unquote liberal elite has for the American people. Let's be clear. Not only is it the House and the Senate and the White House, not only is it the Electoral College, President Trump's win was 77 million votes. He set the record for an incumbent 4 years ago with 74 million votes. He blasted through that record this time, coming back, only the second president to ever have 2 terms that are non-contiguous. And he broke that record by another 3 million, getting 77 million. And what do these Ivory Tower insurrectionists say? Oh, well, who cares about the will of the American people? Just file this story. I think I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put it in my office in the White House because everybody needs to know this is what the Democrat elite thinks of the American people. Look at the map of the Electoral College of the votes in America. It's the tiny little blue centers in the sprawling metropolises like Los Angeles who don't care for America and think they can just decide who the president is. Keep a copy of this article to remind yourself.
Seb, I can remember just a few years ago, this would have been considered dangerous rhetoric. I mean, can you imagine if someone would have said that going back in, say, 2020 or something along those lines? Why can't it be condemned whenever it is said, this is dangerous?
Well, look, they're desperate, Mark. They're utterly desperate. I was truly convinced that we would see the lunatics of BLM and Antifa if our former boss and my future boss won the election 6 weeks ago. And what have we seen? Nothing. Nothing. Not even the silly women in their pink hats came out against him like they did 8 years ago. Which means what? They're kind of surrendering already spiritually. When 77 million Americans, when black men say, we've had it with this lunacy of DEI, when the majority of Hispanics, think of Stark County. You know the figures, Mark. Stark County is what? 93% Hispanic, haven't voted for a Republican president since the late 1800s, and they overwhelmingly voted for President Trump. The elite of the elite drinking their, almond milk lattes. This is the last gasp of, oh my God, he's so nasty. Just laugh. Let's just laugh at it, shouldn't we?
So, Sebastian, you're joining Trump's national security team again. And right now, I think with the American people, there's such a big focus on the border, on combating the issues that we're seeing there. And you have such a firsthand kind of seat to be able to speak with the president, to advise him. What's the first thing that you're going to advise him to tackle on day one?
Well, it's very clear. He said this, and so has that amazing man, Tom Homan, who's coming in as a real border czar. My portfolio will be counterterrorism, and you can split that into 2 large baskets. There's the threat externally, the recrudescence of global jihadism. We see what's happening in Syria after the surrender of Afghanistan by Biden. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, K is resurgent in Afghanistan. That is a very serious threat we will be dealing with. And then internally, look at the numbers. The official numbers are 8 million illegals let into the country in 4 years. If you add to that the gotaways, you can probably double it to 16 million. If only 1% of them are jihadis, are Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hezbollah, Hamas, or cartel members, those are divisional size assets. So the threat is going to be split into those 2 large categories. But as the president promised, what was it a few days ago? Within 2 hours of him being sworn in outside Congress, Tom Homan, Governor Noem, Stephen Miller, Kash Patel, the whole team are going to be busy getting the threats out of America while our tier 1 guys deal with the threats outside of America.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.